here in Daytona in February, when Phil Barkdahl sailed through that tri-oval, track precautions more than did their job. For a few laps. And then this horrifying looking accident. Phil Barkdahl from the Midwest in the Helen Ray special getting upside down in the tri-oval, almost going in its stands, as a matter of fact, at one point. Some anxious moments, and then Phil climbs out, waved to the crowd. As a matter of fact, he felt so good he even helped pick up some of the debris just a few minutes later.
Low side of the track. Jeff Bodine out of control. Jeff Bodine, the Levi Garrett Chevrolet. Jeff Bodine with a wild ride. He's on, well, now the car rights itself very quickly, but Jeff Bodine, the car was running in and amongst some slower cars. Jeffrey quickly jumps out, as you see. He seems to be no worse for the wear. A couple of flames, Jerry, shooting out from beneath the hood, and we are under caution. Museum piece. Here it is again.
The car getting airborne now. Air gets in the car, turning it up sideways. It comes reverse side and then back down on its wheels, and now it will flip over onto its roof. And Jeff Bodine holding on for dear life as Harry Gant slides by up in the top of your picture. The car sliding up across the track. Just be thankful that a couple of good driving maneuvers to keep other traffic from barreling into Bodine's car. Continues to slide now on its roof. You see the sparks spurring there from the top of the roof. Here's our turn one camera shooting as the car comes toward it. Traffic staying up high, and Eli, it's just a miracle no one else was able to barrel into Jeff Bodine.
It's going to be interesting to see what happened in our camera. We picked it up just a tad late as Jeff was already out of control across the grass. Tommy Houston and Harry Gant were still running in that three-car parade that we had seen go down the back straightaway, and we should be able to check up here before much longer on exactly what happened. The good news is Jeff Bodine is fine. The bad news is that museum piece might be ready for the junkie. We'll be back.
This incident in turns 3 and 4. That is Jim Sauter and A.J. Foyt. Along comes Tommy Ellis and Greg Sachs. That is Ellis upside down. He flips a couple of times. Nobody was injured in this.
Yeah, we've got some photographer took a picture of it up in the air before he came down on his roof. I was just glad this freighter didn't get hurt.
Is that the one race that maybe haunts you out of them all, being that close?
By far the most spectacular victim of that rough Bristol surface was Rusty Wallace, who cut a tire in just 3 laps of practice and took this wild ride. Now, this kind of barrel roll is usually associated with super speedways. Doctors made Rusty stay in the hospital Friday night, but he was the first driver at the track on Saturday.
It was a pretty scary moment. I never thought you could flip 6 times on a half-mile track, but it just goes to show you how fast Bristol is and what type of force you really do have in this corner.
Bill Elliott, but notice Mark Martin, who pulls out, then stops. He must have known something was wrong. And he was correct. Here's what happened as he moved to turn 1. A substitute tire changer had mistakenly loosened the lug nuts on the left rear, and the tire came off.
Axle here. And a trouble. Oh, we have a car upside down, rolling down the racetrack. That's the number 48 car, driven by Greg Sachs.
Looks like leg speed.
Leg speed also involved. This in turn.
The radio.
In turn number 1, and again, we're going to be delayed considerably because the wall has given away once again.
Wow. Okay, let's take a look at what did happen. As he went into turn 1, he was on the outside. It looks like leg speed might have lost an engine, or at least he lost the car, and Greg hit him, and they both head through that wall. Greg Sachs hit it hard with the right front, and then the car gets upset and starts rolling over as they come down off of the wall. Barrel rolling. Look how high it goes into there, comes back down. Oh, over and over.
God, for Winston Cup cars and how strong they are. Look at that thing.
You can see the fire, Benny, under the hood of the car, and then it rests back on the top. And as we saw, then Greg Sachs was able to crawl out of there.
The fire was he broke the carburetor when all those tumbles, and the fuel in the carburetor came out and ignited. That was not a big fire, but let's hope that Lake Speed can jump out of there just as quickly as Greg Sachs did.
Great. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the Grand National 300 that has just been finished. Late in the race with 7 laps to go. That's L.D. Ottinger getting around. But watch this. Sailing through the picture comes Brett Hearn, the New Jersey driver. From another angle, Hearn has been taken to Halifax Hospital for x-rays of a potential ankle injury.
Yeah, I think they did touch a little bit there going into turn 1.
Oh, and Lake Speed is
on the roof.
Flipping down the backstretch. The car rolling over over several times.
Dave Marcus involved in it. Looked like Jimmy Spencer's car was involved. Here comes Hut Strickland spinning around. Jimmy Means in the back of the pack got by. Lake Speed was trying to shoot up through the middle there as they were drafting for position, and perhaps got tapped by Sterling Marlin in the blue car behind and shot him into the wall. The car started going over and over, and you can see the car's trying to move around him. There's Dave Marcus, hit him hard. Here's Jimmy Spencer. It looked like down on the inside. He got in on it. And here comes Hut Strickland in the car number 57 sliding out through there.
And from another angle.
I think that Ned said it just right. I think that there was contact between the 83 car and the 94 car Sterling Marlin. And Dave Marcus gave Blake a pretty good rap going down through the grass. And look at the windshields. Look at the debris, the dirt flying from these automobiles. You know, it's hard to watch these shots and tell when these cars are running 180, 90 miles an hour. But when something like this happens, folks, it's easy to tell just how fast we're running.
And one more angle now.
Well, he's already on his roof there and rolling over as the other cars come in on him now. Darrell Waltrip going by on the outside. And you can see Dave Marcus in car number 71 hit him pretty hard there.
And again, once you get onto the grass, the car really will begin to slow.
Well, these cars are built very well.
Got together just a little bit, and then again, and it turned Lake right into the wall, and the car started rolling almost immediately. All the cars behind him started dicing for position, trying to get out of the way. Smoke was blinding them as they went in there, and many of them got involved.
And here is an excellent view of the incident by Rusty Wallace's car.